You think your mind is telling you the truth, but what if it isn't? What if the voice you trust the most has been lying to you your entire life? Not because it's malicious, not because it wants to hurt you, but because it learned to protect you in the only way it knew how. Stay with me. Something important is coming. There are things your mind says in the quiet moments, things you never say out loud, and you assume they're reality simply because they feel familiar. But familiar doesn't mean true, and sometimes the loudest thoughts come from the oldest wounds. Let's begin with a question you probably never asked yourself. How much of what I believe came from me, and how much came from who I had to be to survive? Because here's the uncomfortable thing. Your mind doesn't reflect who you are. Your mind reflects what you experienced, and experiences lie. They distort. They exaggerate. They freeze moments in time and replay them as if they're still happening. Your mind isn't a mirror. It's a storyteller. And storytellers edit. Your mind edits out the times you were capable. It highlights the times you failed. It loops the moments you were abandoned. It amplifies the ones where you weren't enough. Not because they're the most true, but because they were the most intense. Intensity gets stored, repetition gets believed, and belief becomes identity. But identity built on distortion? That's where the lies begin. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how your mind always jumps to the worst-case scenario first? How it creates danger out of silence, panic out of uncertainty, shame out of vulnerability. Why do you think that is? Because your mind isn't trying to tell you the truth. Your mind is trying to keep you safe. But safety and truth aren't the same thing. Your mind says, you can't trust people, not because everyone is untrustworthy, but because someone hurt you when you were still learning what trust meant. Your mind says, you'll fail, not because you're destined to fail, but because failure once felt unbearable. Your mind says, you're not enough, not because it's true, but because someone made you believe that your needs were too much. Your mind lies to avoid pain, but by avoiding pain, it recreates it. There's a part of you that already knows this, that quiet part, the one beneath the noise, the one you hear only when the world goes still. It whispers things your mind doesn't want you to hear. You are not who hurt you. You are not your mistakes. You are not the thoughts you inherited. You are not the fear that protected you. But fear can feel like truth when it's the only voice you listen to. Here's something strange. People think the mind is logical, but your mind is emotional first, logical second. Thoughts are built on emotions. Emotions are built on memories, and memories are built on interpretations, not facts. Interpretations lie. Let me give you an example. Maybe you weren't ignored. Maybe the person who raised you was emotionally overwhelmed. Maybe you weren't unlovable. Maybe the people around you didn't know how to love themselves. Maybe you weren't too much. Maybe they were too little. Maybe you weren't a burden. Maybe you were a child who needed support that no one knew how to give. But your mind didn't know that. It only saw the outcome. It didn't understand the context. Children fill in the gaps with self-blame. Adults mistake that blame for truth. So the mind keeps repeating the same lines. Don't get too close. Don't trust too fast. Don't show who you are. Don't ask for anything real. Don't let anyone know you need them. Your mind lies to keep you small enough to be safe. But staying small isn't safety. Staying small is self-erasure. Here's something most people never realize. The mind lies the most when you're growing. When you're getting close to something important. When you're about to break a pattern. When you're finally touching a wound that's been waiting years to heal. That's when the lies get loud. You can't handle this. You're going to embarrass yourself. No one cares. You're wasting your time. You should give up. The mind panics not because you're in danger, but because you're entering unfamiliar territory. And unfamiliar territory feels like risk, even when it's actually freedom. Your mind doesn't differentiate discomfort from danger. It calls everything danger. That's why people sabotage themselves. Why they run from love that feels too real. Why they reject opportunities that feel too big. Why they cling to versions of themselves that feel outdated. It's easier to live with an old lie than step into a new truth. But you're not here to stay the same. Something brought you to this moment. Some part of you is tired of believing everything your mind says. Some part of you is starting to suspect that your inner narrative isn't the same as reality. And you're right. Let me offer you a new possibility. Your mind is not your enemy. And your mind is not you. Your mind is a survival machine. It collects data. It forms patterns. It learns what hurts. It learns what protects. It builds predictions. It creates stories that reduce uncertainty. But survival machines aren't built for happiness. They're built for consistency, for familiarity, for repetition. You know what happens when a survival machine leads your life? You survive, but you don't live. If you've ever felt like you're watching your own life from a distance, this is why. If you've ever felt like something inside you is locked, muted, dimmed, this is why. If you've ever wondered why you react stronger than the situation deserves, this is why. You're not reacting to the present. You're reacting to the past replaying itself inside your mind. And the mind keeps replaying until you interrupt it. So let's interrupt it. Right now. Take a moment. Think of a thought that hurts you. The one that follows you. The one that whispers when you're tired. The one that feels like truth because it's been around for so long. Now ask it one question. Who taught you to think that? If the answer isn't me, then the thought was never yours. You inherited it. You absorbed it. You adapted to it. You survived with it. But you don't have to carry it. You can question it, challenge it, rewrite it. Replace it with something that reflects who you are now, not who you had to be then. Here's the twist. Your mind lying to you is actually a sign that you're ready to grow. It means the old story no longer fits. It means something inside you is waking up. It means the truth is pushing through the cracks. The truth isn't loud. The truth isn't dramatic. The truth doesn't shout the way fear does. The truth is quiet. That's why you miss it. It speaks beneath the panic, beneath the noise, beneath the rehearsed narratives you've repeated until they sounded real. The truth sounds like this. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not unworthy. You're not too late. You're not impossible to love. You're not defined by your worst moments. And most of all, you are allowed to outgrow the thoughts that once kept you alive. Because you're not surviving anymore. You're becoming. So let me leave you with one final question, one that might stay with you longer than this video. If your mind can lie to protect you, what happens when you start choosing the truth instead? Whatever that awakens in you, let it. Don't push it away. Don't analyze it. Just breathe into it. If you want to keep exploring the parts of yourself your mind hides, you know where to find me. Come back next time. We're just getting started.